Hello there, I am Skeletor, and I have pirated Shanieology's channel once again. Why, you ask? Well, it's this infernal Masters of the Universe Revelation Netflix series. It bothers me. That's right. As you all know, I'm from the Masters of the Universe. In fact, I'm the most evil villain, Skeletor. It's only natural that I have an invested interest in the series that created me. And so when I hear that they're rebooting or redoing or whatever the hell they're doing, of course I'm going to want to know if it's done properly. So far, I'm not liking what I'm hearing. Now, I like what I see, but I don't like what I hear. Now, I watched the trailer and you guys saw my reaction to it. Looks pretty good. I'm not a big fan of Mark Hamill's version of me. That could just be my own bias. Not a big fan of the voice of He-Man, but he's not horrible, just not as good as the original. But what I won't abide, and is what I'm hearing about He-Man, my arch nemesis, the Batman to my Joker, the Superman to my Lex Luthor, taking a back seat in his own series. Now I kind of resent the fact that I, Skeletor, have to defend He-Man. Makes me sick, in fact. I'd much rather hate him and want to destroy him. He's the only thing standing in my way of conquering Castle Grayskull. But you see, I like a good sport. And He-Man is, of course, the challenge that I, Skeletor, require in order for me to feel like I've conquered Castle Grayskull and achieved something. So what I've been hearing is that the series is going to revolve around Teela. Now, when I saw the trailer originally, I had to take a look at it a few more times. And then I started to really notice something. All the images of Teela were of her old self. Back in the old 80s, that's how she looked. Now apparently they're looking to do a time jump. As we have seen in the imagery, Teela looks like she's juiced up and got some kind of weird hairdo. And we don't see this version of Teela in the entire trailer, which leads me to believe that this is all smoke and mirrors. Well, look how much He-Man there is. Isn't it all just amazing? And then we see all the shots with He-Man fighting are with the old Teela. So, what does that tell us? Well, that tells us that they're trying to hide something. And if they're trying to hide, that means they're being deceitful. Now, Kevin Smith has come out and said, you guys are all liars. I'm telling you the truth. This is not what you think. Well, I guess only time will tell. But apparently, Kevin Smith has released a video where he tries to explain and dissect the trailer. So, I, Skeletor, have decided that I'm going to react to his reaction. I'm evil, so I can detect deceit very easily. So let's see if I find anything deceitful in his Closer Look Masters of the Universe Revelations video. So, without further ado, let's watch this thing and get to the bottom of this once and for all.
Return to the world of He-Man and Attorney of the Masters of the Universe was inevitable. Nothing ever dies, kids.
Time after time, you try to take this castle. But you will never succeed, Skeletor.
Call your champion.
Hey man, I'm Kevin Smith, and today we're going to take a closer look at my new Netflix series, Masters of the Universe Revelation. This is...
You notice he never says He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? Well, that's in the title itself. Purposefully removing He-Man is a red flag. I mean, if you kept He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, well then maybe people wouldn't say it's about Teela.
It's one of the biggest selling toy lines of all time. That's predicated on affection for the property.
Affection for the property, he says. Well, our affection for the property. He apparently was outed recently for lying about his affection. As he says, grew up loving He-Man. There was an old tweet that someone unearthed, how he said he was never a fan of the property, but if you guys want to see this Comic-Con or whatever thing, go check it out. So, he already outed himself as not a fan, which is another red flag when somebody lies about being a fan. It's designed to make you trust him. Trust me, because I have your beloved series in my possession, and I am a huge fan, so trust me with your beloved property. Liar! Let's keep going.
So a bunch of kids who grew up watching these cartoons now get a chance to re-engage with them. And so that was the reason to do it, man. Our version of Masters of the Universe.
Funny how he leads off with Teela leading the charge. He just talks about all the fans of He-Man who grew up loving these characters, and the first person he shows in the clip is Teela. That's going to make us feel better.
Revelation was meant to address all the characters and storylines from the old show and bring it into the present so that if you were a kid back then you know, every day after school, watching the cartoon, it's almost like this is a continuation of that cartoon.
It's almost like it's a continuation. It's not a real continuation. It's almost as if. What does that even mean? It's almost as if it's a continuation. It's like, it's not butter, but I can't believe it's not butter. I can't believe it's not Masters of the Universe.
We pick up kind of spiritually.
Kind of spiritually. What the hell happened to this guy?
Where He-Man and the Masters of the Universe left off. Like, so at the beginning of our first episode.
So he knows that He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was the original title. So he left out the He-Man on purpose.
So it plays for the first 10 minutes like, you know, a slightly or way better animated version of the old show. It's
patting himself on the back, is he? Way better version of the animation.
very simple. We establish the relationships, and it's very warm and young feeling. And then about half...
Warm and young feeling. So basically he's saying it starts off with your nostalgia. It's to draw you in. It's what he's saying right now. What we're doing is we're going to play on your nostalgia right off the bat. So when you look at it, you're going to get all jazzed up. And all your strong feelies you had watching your old characters doing the things that you love to watch them do, you get to see again. Yay! This is where they drop the bomb.
Halfway through the show, we turn everything.
Uh-oh. Halfway through the show, we turn everything.
Something happens.
Something happens. Dun, dun, dun.
And we kind of grow it up. And starting where we start by teeing off from the old show, just picking up where they left off, gives it more dramatic thrust, because these were characters that were...
He calls it dramatic thrust. I call it nostalgic clickbait.
Just bathed in innocence. And in our story, that innocence gets lost along the way. I'm 50 years old right now and stuff. The older one gets, the more one pines for the things that made them happy in their youth. It makes you feel young when you can engage with the things that you engaged in your youth. So this is Netflix and Mattel Television's gift to the world, to a bunch of people. It's like, remember how happy you were as a kid?
First of all, gift to the world. Well, half the world didn't watch He-Man. Only the fans of He-Man watched He-Man, so it's not a gift to the world. It's supposed to be a gift to the He-Man fans. I don't understand how it's a gift to the world.
Kid, here's more, you know, so there's no good reason not to bring it back. When I was a kid, I'd watch...
I can give you thousands of reasons not to bring it back. Number one, because you haven't brought anything back with any reverence. They ruin 90% of the things they touch. It's all designed for them to bait and switch. You know, we're going to give you something you love. It's a gift. And then with that gift comes a backhand, because we're going to preach to you and tell you how much you suck. See, we won't tell you how much you suck normally, because you'll change the channel. So what we have to do, in order to brainwash you to believe you suck, we have to get your attention by showing you something that you'll love. And then once you're saddled in, we're going to hammer how much you suck. You're going to get upset and you're going to get angry. And then you're going to vent your frustration, and then Hollywood is going to tell you how you're ungrateful fans and you're toxic. This is quite evil, even for me. Listen, I'm evil. It's in my job description. Skeletor, evil villain. I'm coming forward telling you I'm evil. You know where I stand. I've never pretended to be anything else. These people are beyond evil. I have honor as a villain. There is no honor in the bait and switch. It's annoying at the very least and criminal at the very most.
Watch He-Man and Masters of the Universe when I got home from school. From 1981 to 82, it was a ritual. When you're a kid who's going to school, and, you know, I was 10, 11 years old. I was wearing a uniform. I had no control over my life whatsoever. You dream of, like, being in charge, having a little bit of a modicum of...
He was not 10, no way. If he's over 50 years old, there's no way he would be 10. I don't believe it.
A modicum of power. So watching He-Man the Masters of the Universe, like, you know, the tagline, the most famous line from the show, one of the most famous lines of dialogue in pop culture history, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. That's something that as a kid you're sitting there going, yeah man, that's wish fulfillment. To be fair, I've always been a huge comic.
This guy, he won't stop lying. And he's already been outed as not being a fan of the series. And all this talk that he's doing right now is a big fat lie. He's doing it with such conviction. Wow, I need to take notes. You know, you're better than me, I got to say, Kevin Smith.
Always been a huge comic book fan. And He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, particularly the He-Man part of the Masters of the Universe, is predicated on a secret identity. It's very much Superman and Clark Kent. Prince Adam is Clark Kent. Superman is He-Man. It always appealed to me.
It's more like Shazam, really. Billy Batson says Shazam and becomes Shazam.
It's appealed to me. So much so that when I got the call about meeting with Mattel and they said He-Man, and instantly my eyes lit up.
His eyes lit up because he saw dollar signs. That's why it lit up. It went, cha-ching! I'm getting work in Hollywood again. Yay! Cha-ching!
Revelation in the title, Masters of the Universe Revelation, refers to Teela's journey. Teela...
No, it's all lies, everyone. It's not about Teela at all. The whole title revolves around Teela. That's all. Guys, I don't know why you guys think these rumors are all false. You know, Kevin Smith just said it. You know, it revolves around Teela, so of course it can't revolve around Teela. When you take out the He-Man from the title and you add Revelations, which is more about Teela. So calm down and everyone take a deep breath and give it a chance. God help us. This is gaslighting at an evil villain type level.
Teela finds out something about her that...
Notice the images of Teela he's actually using? The ones that people didn't complain about?
About her that was hinted at in the old Legacy show.
So the ones that were hinted at the old Legacy show was the fact that Teela is, of course, spoiler alert, the daughter of the sorceress. And they did play on that in the old series. They were trying to set up a Teela spin-off at some point, but then Mattel decided to actually go a different route and make a She-Ra series instead. Now, I have no problem with this. It's the bait and switch. It's the, we're giving you a He-Man series, only to say, nah, not really. This is all about Teela. This is all about girl power, wrapped in a mansplaining package.
And that's a kernel that we blew out and really played with in this show. So the revelation in question really has to do with Teela, and that's because if you remember the old show, you know, at the very beginning, they would talk about only 3 others know his secret. And it was like the Sorceress, Man-at-Arms, and Orko, as well as Cringer. Teela, who He-Man fought side by side, and Teela, who protected Adam when he wasn't He-Man, was always left out of that. She was kept in the dark like Lois Lane. So our approach for the story was like, well, what happens if she finds out? What happens when she learns who He-Man really is? And
let me guess. She gets triggered and gets all offended. Oh my God, how can you lie to me? This is so triggering and offensive. Or maybe they didn't realize that they were trying to protect her, like Superman was trying to protect Lois Lane. The more people know, the more dangerous it is. And at the time, she was only a teen herself. How could you trust a teen with such a big secret? Frankly, I was surprised they actually managed to keep that secret for so long after I found out how he turns into He-Man. He goes behind the bush and screams at the top of his lungs, by the power of Grayskull! And then lightning and thunder goes everywhere. How did I miss that? Well, to be fair, my eyesight isn't very good since I don't have eyeballs. Anyway, let's keep watching.
What if she learned that not at him confessing it? It wasn't him going, you know what, I think you can handle this. It was by way of the adventure, of the epic. Something happens that kind of breaks everybody's world, and all the revelations are revealed. You know, when you're talking about...
So basically, the crux of the show was about Adam, a young boy, being protected because we don't know that this young boy is He-Man. And if we did find out that this young boy was He-Man, what do you think I would do? Let's see. What would I actually do? Well, I'd seek out his weakness, which is what evil villains do. It was smart of him to keep it a secret. And to keep the show going forward, let's maintain that secret, right? But now, let's reveal it. Why not? So everyone's going to look at Adam differently. You're going to see how, hey Adam, you're He-Man, right? Why don't you turn into He-Man right now? My cat's on the top of the tree. Adam's life is about to get miserable. Which I find funny.
Masters of the Universe, a big part of the franchise is right there, the mysteries of Castle Grayskull, the secrets of Castle Grayskull. And secrets can have a damaging effect. That's what we kind of play with in our storyline. Masters of the Universe Revelation, honestly, no bull, has been one of my top 5 favorite things I've ever worked on. What started as like, oh, that'll be fun, turned into one of the most satisfying creative experiences of my life. So much so that if they were like, you want to do season 2? I might be nervous about doing it because I don't think anything will ever be as satisfying to me as making Masters of the Universe Revelation has been for these last 2 years.
Well, let's see first how season 1 does. Because by the sound of it, people may turn on you and there may be no season 2. So we'll see. Kevin Smith.
Thanks for taking a look at Masters of the Universe Revelation with me. Part 1 is going to be on Netflix July 23rd. Circle that date. July 23rd, you're going to have the power.
I have the power!
I can't get over this music. So, there you have it, everyone. Kevin Smith has made our fears of it being a Teela-centric series put it to rest, everyone. It's called Revelations, which is based upon Teela's journey, so He-Man is going to take a back seat because of girl power. People might say, well, what's wrong with, giving females more agency in a cartoon series that's designed mostly for boys? Nothing. Nothing at all. In fact, Teela had a lot of agency in the old series. But the series, no doubt, revolved around Adam and then He-Man and his struggle. If you wanted to see a female version of He-Man, well, you have it. It's called She-Ra. She-Ra was He-Man's female equivalent. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, do you guys believe he's lying? It's hard to not believe he's lying. He practically admits it right here. What a fool. Anyway, like and hit the subscribe button, and be rest assured, Skeletor will be on it to make sure that this travesty doesn't go unpunished. So until next time, I, Skeletor,